I've talked in another video about how important it is for job seekers, for candidates to use this probable downtime that a lot of people are having to endure because of the coronavirus situation. I also think it's a great opportunity for employers to also do some thinking and from their thoughts do some acting in terms of areas of improvement for employers. This is an opportunity for employers to think very seriously about how they're viewed by potential job seekers, how that whole process works. It's obviously a source of huge frustration for lots of job seekers. Sometimes, probably slightly unrealistically, but a lot of times job seekers will refer to issues that do seem frustrating and painful, and at times you wonder sort of who's supposed to benefit from this situation. So if you are an employer, you perhaps do have an opportunity now to use the time that you would ordinarily perhaps spend in a traditional recruitment scenario. If that's not happening because your company's not doing recruitment right now, there's a hiring freeze on, as there will be for an awful lot of companies, unfortunately. If you are in that situation, but you are still a talent acquisition professional, a TA or a recruiter, an HR manager, there are things that you can still be doing to make sure that when we do get through this period, when the recovery starts to build, and we kind of get back to some kind of normality in terms of there being jobs to pursue, and obviously candidates and job seekers are making their applications in a more traditional, conventional fashion. What you want as an employer, of course, is to be seen as a very, very attractive employer. And I'm a big believer that one of the criteria that will be used when people decide is company X an attractive employer or not will be how they were perceived, and that is the key word there, how they will be perceived to have acted during this period of crisis. What I mean by that is, if as a company you can show yourselves to have genuinely, excuse my language, given a shit about both people in your business, of course, your staff, and also the wider community. If you can genuinely show that you did care and you did take steps to improve the situation for people as best you could, that will resonate. That will matter to people. This is not going to be something that just gets forgotten about once it's over. This is going to be a big talking point. And just as companies will ask job seekers, what did you do with your time? How did you get through this? How did you cope? What was the impact on you? I'm pretty sure that the smarter, more demanding job seekers will be posing those exact same questions back at the companies. What did they do? How did they look after people? How did they make a difference? Did they care? And if so, how? And how do they show that? So have a think about those sorts of issues. What are you doing internally? Are you transparent enough with your staff? I know this is a really hard one for companies, particularly when a lot of the time at the moment you're probably just sharing bad news. There is a tendency just to try and bury bad news, or to obfuscate it, or to dress it up, and again, forgive my language, in sort of management bullshit, which is frankly really irritating even in the best of times. But we're not in the best of times, and people will not thank you for trying to pretend that things were sunnier than they really were, and you can guarantee your staff will not thank you for that. And people externally, when they do their asking around, when they do their sort of drill down through their networks and try and get a sense of a company, being that sort of company that just tried to kind of bluff and bullshit your way through, I don't think that's going to work. You're better off being straight and honest with people. People will respect that at least. They may not want to hear what they're hearing, but they will respect that as a business you were honest and transparent enough to be straight with people. So have a think about how you use this time. And that might be about your processes, it might be about your perceptions, your image. There will be things that you can genuinely change if you are minded to do so. And I do think they will pay off. Probably not immediately, because there may not be a traditional hiring process going on, but in the very near future that will come back, and you will want to be seen as a company that handled things the right way, not one that just sort of, as it were, sat sort of twiddling your thumbs complacently, waiting for it all to be over. So yeah, good luck with that. It's time, it's an opportunity, and it can be used wisely if you choose to. So yeah, good luck with that. Have a good thing.